Alright. Well, I gonna do the AEW Dynamite review from this past Wednesday. It's a little bit late, but here it is. So Dynamite actually started off with Kevin Knight versus MJF for the TNT Championship. MJF has ZZ Dub on his left elbow pad. MJF sent Knight out to the ring quickly. This match was a really good match to kick off Dynamite. This match lasted 15 minutes with Kevin Knight getting the win. Bryce Wensberg took it. MJF had the TNT title. Referee Bryce Wensberg took it from him. MJF had the Dynamite Diamond ring, and Knight hit a low blow uppercut. The referee never saw it, and Knight got an inside cradle for the 1-2-3. A terrific match, like most of MJF's matches, and Knight is certainly talented as well. And then after the match, MJF hit Knight with a chop block to the left knee. Darby Allin descended from the ceiling as if he was 1997 Sting. And Allin hit a Scorpion Death Drop on MJF. That led to MJF leaving the ring. MJF did a promo telling the fans that they suck. MJF said that they are two low-life cheaters. MJF said he didn't give a damn about Knight, and he was barely trying. MJF said he only cares about his AEW World Championship. MJF told Allin to give him a rematch. Allin said no rematch until MJF puts something on the line. Allin said if he survives tonight, then he knows who deserves a shot next week. Kevin Knight. Brody King walked out to say that Allin isn't going to survive tonight. So the next up was the Brawling Birds, Jamie Hayter, Alex Windsor versus Emily Jade and Jordan Blade. It was a glorified squash match that lasted about a minute. And then the Triangle of Madness afterwards. Tekla and Sky Blue talked about the rivals. Tekla kept talking about the dub beats because AEW has so many of them. Tekla said one-on-one she is everything while the Brawling Birds are nothing. Next up was Okada versus Ace Austin. This match went 11 minutes to give Okada a win in a title defense over a guy who really has no shot to win. But he was a talented guy to win, and it was a fun match to watch. Then afterwards, a video was shown from somewhere in the Wild West, like they're shown from Bandito in the past. A bunch of dudes were beaten up, and a guy ran away from somebody. It was Swerve Strickland who found a sign about Bandito. Prince Nana handed Swerve something, and Swerve lit the paper on fire. That likely means Swerve Strickland is coming from Bandito, who is the Ring of Honor World Champion. So this was a different scene. The Death Riders were featured in a video package showing how they train. Will Ospreay showed up to train with them because John Moxley invited Will to train with them. Moxley told Will to drop everything that clouds his vision, that makes him see things that aren't there. Moxley told Will to drop his feelings about Moxley. Moxley said that when he makes a commitment, he sees it through to the end and asks for the same in return. Will said okay. Will asked where the ring is, and Moxley said that there is no ring because they start from the ground up. Moxley kicked the camera out. The Death Riders are trying to toughen up Will Ospreay. And then the next match was Adam Copeland, Christian Cage versus RPG Vice, Trent Beretta, and Rocky Romero. This match went quite a while. I don't have the time limit here, but yeah. Edge, Adam Copeland and Christian Cage got the win, as you would expect. Uh, nice finish to the match with Cope launching Trent into the air, leading to Cage hitting the spear to win decisively. Cage grabbed a steel chair after the match. Cage gave Cope a steel bar from the chair, so Cope put the steel bar into Trent's mouth into a crossface. And Cope took the steel bar out, so Cage told Trent to say it, and Trent said, "I quit." And the FTR match with Cope and Cage is an I quit match, so Cage previewed this by making Trent say that he quits. And if Cope and Cage don't win, then they can never be a tag team together in AEW. Chris Jericho was interviewed by Renee Paquette. Jericho said that Ricochet has followed Jericho's career very closely. That led to Ricochet and the Demand beating up Jericho. Ricochet said he told Jericho to leave or he would get hurt. Jericho replied, "Eat crap, bald." Jericho was tossed into a wooden object backstage. Ricochet did a backflip over Jericho and said he's not even with it. Next match was AEW World Tag Team Championships, Divine Division, Megan Bain, and Lita Cross versus Chris Statlander and Hikaru Shida. This was a pretty decent match. This match went 13 minutes to give Megan Bain and Lita Cross the win to retain the titles. And then Andrade and Doug Ellis were interviewed by Renee Paquette. MJF walked in to complain about Andrade being the reason that Darby Allin is AEW World Champion. Andrade kept asking, "How do you know?" Kelly said that they are better off with MJF on top, and Don Callis wanted them to focus on the business. Okay. And then Rush versus Steven Forte match to give Rush the win. And then the Ops stable of Samoa Joe, Hook, and newcomer Anthony Bowens and Shibata were interviewed by Renee Paquette. Joe talked about the credibility of the Ops while saying that the Bowens was undervalued and underappreciated, so you'll see the best of him in the Ops. And Joe said that they had Will Ospreay's back in the past, and Joe said that Will has to ask himself if he wants a relationship of confidence or convenience, and that choice belongs to Will. FTR and Stokely were backstage for a promo. Stokely talked about coming for the conglomeration with Orange Cassidy facing Dax Harwood next week. If Orange wins, then they get a shot at the AEW World Tag Team titles, but if Dax wins, Then FTR and a partner gets a shot at the AEW Trios titles. And then Tommaso Ciampa walked in saying he's going to team up with FTR to take the Trios Championship. So next up was Darby Allin versus Brody King. This was an excellent match. This match went 17 minutes. Yeah, Darby Allin retained, so that means that next week Darby Allin would defend the AEW title against Kevin Knight. And then Knight will also defend the TNT title against Hook on Collision. That should be a good match. Hook hasn't wrestled in a while, so that'll be a decent match. So it was a great show, a lot of matches. It wasn't really much for storyline advancements, but it was a decent show. Um, the good matches were MJF, Kevin Knight, and Darby Allin, and Brody King, and yeah. So that is your AEW Dynamite review. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.